people. It's been long. Um, I want us to cover a particular topic in mathematics, and this topic is simplification. Alright, so now what is simplification? So simplification talks about the act of reducing numbers. Okay, so if we always try to minimize our values, we are always trying to simplify. Alright, so under simplification, we are supposed to be mindful that we have addition and subtraction. Alright, so under addition and subtraction, there are particular things you're supposed to know. Okay, so the first thing you're supposed to know is that your answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. Point number one, your answer will always have the sign with the bigger number. So whenever you find your last value or you find a value to say, make sure that that value is having the sign with the bigger number. Okay, at this point it won't really make sense, but to make sense as we continue with the tutorial. Alright, be mindful of what I've said. Your answer will always have the sign with the bigger number. Second point, whenever we have, let's take for instance, same signs, we add values. Okay, same signs, we add values. Alright, so I really want you to understand how you can actually pick a sign from a number. Presuming you have random numbers like 6, that, and finally that. To understand the signs that these numbers are having, be mindful that sign your number, you better go left hand side in a number with 4 sign of. So this 3 is having a negative sign. This 10 is having a positive sign. This 7 is having a negative sign. And this 6 is having a positive sign. Be mindful that positive time moneka ngawere kunse unlike mukati. Okay? So this is negative 3, positive 10, negative 7, and positive what? 6. Alright. So what if you have something like this? Alright, so I want you to say it with me. So this 8 is having what sign? Yes, a negative sign. The 3? Yes, a negative sign. The 5? Yes, you're right, a positive sign. What about the 7? Yes, positive, you're right. So you're keeping track. And let's continue now. So be mindful of what I've said. When we have same signs, we add values, okay? We add values. So same signs, add values. Let's look at examples of that assumption. Presuming you have negative 3 minus 7. 7 is having what sign? A negative sign, yes. 3 is having what sign? A negative sign as well. So these are same signs. And same signs, what do? You add values. Be mindful. So if you add the 3 to 7, you'll be having 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you'll be having 10. So 10 will be your answer. But remember what I said. Your answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number between 3 and 7 is 7 having a negative sign. So your final answer here is negative 10. Moving on. Let's say you have this. 4 is negative. 2 is also negative. So these are same signs. What do you do whenever you have same signs? Yes, you add values. So if you add 2 to 4, you'll be having a 6. Okay? You'll be having a 6. But remember that our answer will always have the sign of the bigger number, and the bigger number between 2 and 4 is 4 having a negative sign. So our answer is negative what? 6. Okay, let's continue with more examples. Presuming you have something like this. Alright. Negative 7 minus 10. 10 is having a negative sign, then 7 is having a negative sign. So these signs are the same signs you add. So you're going to be having a negative what? 17. And finally, our last example is this. 5 plus 1. Okay, so in actual sense, 5 plus 1, this is direct for most of us, because 5 plus 1 is going to give us 6. But this is positive 1 and this is positive 5. So you're having positive 5 and positive 1. Same signs. So I really want you to understand the same concept I'm saying. Same signs you add. So if you add 1 to 5, you're having 6. So this 6, remember we get the sign from the bigger number. The bigger number between 1 and 5 is 5 and the positive sign. So the positive 6 is literally written as just 6. Because like I said earlier on, positive termonica nga iberere kunse unlike yenok bamkat. Alright, let's move on to the next point. So that was for same signs. So now what if you have different signs? So different signs, we simply subtract. Okay, so we subtract values whenever we have different signs. Okay. All right, let's look at examples. Presuming you have 2 minus 7. Now 7 is having a negative sign, but what of this 2? Yes, it's having a positive sign, because in actual sense it's the same as somebody writing as positive 2 minus what? 7. 7 is negative, 2 is positive. So these are different signs. And different signs, what you have to do is simply to subtract. Subtract 2 from 7, you'll be having a 5. But remember the first point I said, your answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. So yes, twalabula sign kuli number equal. Number equal pali 2 na 7 ni 7 equal to negative. So your answer is negative shani 5. This topic is very paramount. Okay, so I need you to pay close attention to everything that I'm going to say and to remember everything I have said, because this topic actually is the backbone of mathematics. Because the problem we tend to find as teachers and students is the problem of signs. Many students don't really know how to work with the signs. Let's continue. Alright, let's say you have negative 3 plus 1. Now 1 is positive, 3 is negative. The signs are different. Some signs are gonna happen. Tola funyamo. So tafunyamo 1 muli 3. Tola shani na 2. Ain. So tola remember 2. But answer is, so if you look at sign number ikuru, or number ikuru pali 1 na 3, ni 3 equal to negative sign. So answer is about negative 2. You see? Yes. Continue. So you have negative 4 plus 8. So 8 is having a positive sign and 4 is having a negative sign. So these signs are different. Different signs you subtract. Subtract 4 from 8, you'll be having a 4. Your answer should have the sign of the bigger number, and the bigger number between 4 and 8 is 8 having a positive sign. So our answer is positive 4. We won't show the positive because positive termonica nga iberere kunse unlike mukat. Okay? Okay, so 4 minus 9. 9 is negative, 4 is positive. Our answer will be, yes, it's going to be what? Yes, negative what? 5. Alright, so I like it that you are following me. Anyway, let's continue. Last example is going to be, presuming you have negative 3 plus 3. Now this 3 is positive, the other 3 is negative. These signs are different, and different signs, what you have to simply do is to subtract. Subtract 3 from 3, you'll be having what? 0. Now there's no such thing as positive or negative 0. 0 is just 0. Okay? Alright. Okay, so I want you to try this as your task so we can move on. Task. Okay? So be mindful that it will be asked to say simplify. Alright, so watch out for the next video. That will be a continuation of this particular topic. Thank you for watching, and I'm glad that you have understood. Please submit the answers to this task once you're done watching. Thank you. My name is Mr. Hussein, and I'm one of the muffled writers. Thank you. For more information, please contact on 0761 754349. Let's make the world a happy place.